Okay, the last tab we're going to cover, we're actually going to cover two, and I'll start from the invoice tab here again. So here's your invoice. We're going to cover the week one, the weekly input sheet that you actually input your activities you do for the week, and then also your footprints tab. Now the other thing you'll notice too at the bottom here is all of these tabs, we've shrunken them. So you can quickly jump to week 5. They'll no longer be hidden behind the scroll bar where you're going to have to scroll over here to get to them. You'll quickly be able to jump to all the tabs. So that's one thing we were trying to do is, again, the complete goal of this is to simplify it and make it easier for you guys. Obviously, we know change always takes a little bit of learning, but through the long run of this, we hope this is going to be an improvement and help a lot of us in reviewing and also you guys in inputting your information. So quickly we're going to jump, and this is going to be completely different, is your week 1. When you jump to week 1, how you input your information that you did for the day, so your phone calls that you did to your people, how long it took, a quick description of it. When you go here, you used to have, you'd see 7 days, and you'd see this little log where you'd type in everything you did. You do a comma, that took 23 minutes, then do a comma, called so-and-so or whatever it is, and you put it in, comma, and then you'd have to total all those minutes and then calculate all that information. Now what we've done is we've created, each day has up to 20 items you can do. And we think that should be enough for everybody. If for some reason that you have more than 20 things that you did during that day, like if you're doing phone calls and you do 30 phone calls, you're probably going to want to do monthly phone calls. You're not going to do a line item for each phone call that you did to each market center. You're just going to put monthly phone calls took 2 hours. Actually, you don't even have to put that in here. Monthly phone calls, you go over here and you have minutes and hours. You could say 30 minutes, 2 hours, so it took 2.5 hours. And that's all you're going to have to do now. So then next time if you have market center 152 called, needed help with Winmore deposits. So you put that in here. That took 15 minutes. And what you see popping up here is some purple. And basically all that purple is we've now combined the timesheet to be all in one for all of the angels, the review angels, the angel roll, the guardians, and also launch. So when you do a roll, you're going to label, okay, that was angel. And then you're also going to say market center 1, oh, this was guardian, or obviously that wouldn't be, but I would put in angel and label each activity until that purple goes away. So each day, you'll have 7 days on each week, obviously. You just scroll down, and each week ends on a Thursday, so you put in all that information. And what it does is you've got your first 10 items here, your next 20 there, and it totals all of your minutes, which I've got 45 of, and then all of your hours as well. And as I add them here, it adds them up here, and then it also goes into my weekly total. So my weekly total hours will total up here. My footprints information will total here, which I'll show you that in a second. It shows me my weekly cost, which is just based on this information here, and then my total cost combines that with my footprints information, so I can see my total cost for the week. The other thing it does here is it breaks down for you so you can quickly see for the week how much of your work was angel time, was it guardian angel time, launch time, and review time. And I can quickly see I've got unassigned, I've got $125, so purple showing up here alerting me, hey, I've got some time that I put in here, and here it sits right here, $5 or 5 hours, and I could put review time or whatever that description would, and then I would say, okay, that was review time. Then I put that in here. No longer does that purple show up here, and it goes into my review time slot, so I can quickly have a breakdown of what my week's work consisted of. So each day you'll input that information. You'll see here, this is a very crucial spot here, and this is the same as the old one, just in a different format. You always had to put in the beginning date of your timesheet, and almost 99% of the time it's going to be a prior date than the beginning date of the month, unless that first day of the month lands on a Friday. If it does not, so obviously 6 out of 7 days, 6 out of 7 times it's not going to. You're going to have to backdate it a little bit here, because I'm doing the month of September 2010, and the first day of September happens to land on a Wednesday, so I need to backdate it my Friday, so because all these cells here automatically generate for you. You're not going to have to input that information. Once you input this date here, so if I put 7/1, then it just goes plus 1 day each time, but I need to input the proper date here to get this to calculate and make sure that my dates fall in the right spot. The other thing we've done here to make sure that that happens is this will the date format shows the date and the day. So if the day does not match up here, you can see that you've got the wrong date in here. and that will just make sure that you have the proper date in here, because that date drives the entire spreadsheet. Because if I go to my contact log here, you can see I have purple on here because it's past week 2, but if it got past week 3, like if I had, let's just say I had 8-1 in here, and now I go to my contact log, I'm going to see purple everywhere, because obviously 8-1 was more than a month ago, so these activities that I have not yet completed are overdue, and it's just alerting me of that. Complete my cache, complete these activities, because I've got the wrong date in here. I need to make sure that that is the proper date for my timesheet. And again, that will drive everything. Again, all of your information up top here will automatically populate, and it's all on lockdown. You can't accidentally type in a cell, and you can just simply tab on through your cells here. You can't get to a cell that is on lockdown. And we did talk a little bit about the 20 items here. So I've also included, since there's over 20 items, if you would ever run into that during a day where you had an unbelievable day where you had more than 20 things happen, you have an option to go down here and complete this field just like the old timesheet. We would put in here Market Center 153 called about AR import 20 minutes. And then I would do a comma, and then unfortunately I would have to add up all that time if I ever get to this box, and I would say okay, up 20 minutes, and then I would label what kind of work this was. This was angel time, so I would make sure I put that in here. If I don't label this, I get a ding up here with the purple. Again, you don't want any purple showing up anywhere, and I label that, and that will go to my angel spot accordingly. So let me just remove that. Okay, the other thing that you have is on your you have your weekly footprints. Before, when we have a footprints tab for each week, you just generate that report through footprints, and it creates an Excel file. Now what we've done is when you paste that information in here, you're no longer going to have to total that cost column. You're not going to have to do that, and you're never going to have to worry about what column that's in. We've set it to where week 1 has a formula in there saying, okay, go to this tab, and in column 1, scroll over until you find the column that says cost, and then when you find it, total that column. So no matter what column it's in, no matter how long it is, if it's 200 lines, whatever it is, it will find that column and it'll total it for you, so you'll no longer have to worry about that actually getting calculated in there properly. So that is how the week 1 and your footprints. Again, week 2, everything else is just accordingly, and has a quick breakdown here, everything on all the tabs. But that is how you'll input from now on with your weekly times. Input that information in here. Each day will have 20 slots, and then an additional category down here if you run over those 20 spots to input more information into. Again, if you're stuck on something, just email your guardian or just watch more of the tutorial videos.